Making moves like I'm hot in the shank. I'm low key, but I pop out in blank. This bun on my knife, I'm trying to look. They do not come for me. Fake, I can't keep no company. Only the real respect my honest. So watch how you come in if you're under me. I'm with it and Rex involved. Why they texting calls? Run me that, making no sense at all. That's like a basketball. You know, this go stupid, go dumb. Told that boy you gotta pay for some. Sit on no throne, you ain't taking none. You bragging on past, I make for fun. I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. You mad while I'm getting busy. Country girl running your city. Attitude bad on Sadidi. He only 2 times from the he out like a light, call him Ricky. And honestly, it ain't no cap in it. These know ain't no cap in it. I like put a stack in it. I'm bad, ain't stopping cause it ain't no acting it. I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. Leaving my mark like a I see no biggie. What you saying on the internet, I ain't keeping up with the news. But I get that daily paper. Stop playing me.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we'll see Miles Sanders. He really helped drive them a week ago with a 3-touchdown game. It's the Eagles and the Commanders, and it comes your way next.
Well, we are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Washington team as they enter play here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His 3rd NFL team, Carson Wentz.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Wentz first play going right to the air. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early 2nd down and long. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Charles, that's a route that you and I have seen time and time again in our years up in this booth, and that executed well and a great throw, too.
And sometimes, even if you know it's coming, the execution will trump whatever you do on the defensive side of the ball. Plus, it was a well-thrown football.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The sack there by Brandon Graham coming in and bringing him down to the ground.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. This is fielded inside the 5. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback, now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts got the green light as a starter from the Philly organization and took really good steps as the next in line of mobile quarterbacks in the city, following names like Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, and Randall Cunningham. He led the team in all quarterbacks in the NFL in rushing, and he took Philadelphia to the postseason while throwing for over 3,000 yards.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. And he lost the football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now, I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads. And you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
Yeah, 5 turnovers last week, now 1 here in the opening quarter. Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, Antonio Gibson with it. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Wentz to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Well, this defense for the Eagles very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Sly able to put this one through. And it's 3-0 Washington. So the fumble recovery haven't set up an ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. This offense returns to the field, and the former Penn State star Miles Sanders, we're going to look at him. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, got a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
From the 29, Hurts. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins. That's good for a gain of 6. And he'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I'll apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. And a Washington offense going back to work. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has a little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 17 carries, 109 yards, and a touchdown.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. On 1st down, Hurts. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time. He was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
After the sack on 1st down, Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 45. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here in 3rd and 1. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And looking for a lane, but none to be found for Sanders. As they stop him short of the line to gain. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
Come on. Hey.
Going for it with Sanders. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Good spot on the field to go for it, kind of no man's land as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow, might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. The Eagles at 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought they played pretty well. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience on display in that victory.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. He does have the first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts, his 5th. Eagles have taken the lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take Davis from the top rope. I like it. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Some good games coming up here in Week 3, the first weekend of fall officially. And tonight, the Niners and Broncos from Denver. 49er fans are probably saying, wait, I thought we were done with Russell Wilson. No, they'll see him tonight. And then on Monday night, Cowboys and Giants from MetLife Stadium kicking off at 8:15 Eastern. Wentz now on 1st down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And it's a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the 1st down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh, my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That's good for 28 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Ron Rivera scowling down on the sideline, and he's thrown out the red challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. Sanders, and he loses the football a second time. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hurts. Quick slant to Brown. And the Eagles are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Sanders. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Elliott on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. all that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the 36, Hurts. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Deron Payne. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hit him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know would be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match. And maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. This is caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 68 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one, as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Shotgun now for Wentz. Complete, it's Dotson. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A very good return that time. 18 yards.
This offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Towards the end zone for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the run.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line.
The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts,
as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
The Commanders back out late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz.
They're looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go into the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points? While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Jalen Hurts in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. Elliott now to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home in U.S. Bank Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Adam Thielen, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. Davis Mills, the Stanford man, with 2 touchdown passes. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for Washington, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in this second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin this third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart. at the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in, the obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
It's a second down run with Sanders. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still had the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on third down. Here's Hurts to throw. It's caught. Smith. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Fires the quick slant. A.J. Brown's got it. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down. Running right, here's Sanders. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And this is caught by Watkins. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
To throw again on second down. Hurts. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen. But somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. And thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. On the sneak, it's Hurts. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
I think in this situation, all you want to do is make sure your guys are set up front. No one jumps, no penalties. Sometimes you don't even call cadence, just go and pick it up.
Yeah, because it's on them. I mean, the quarterback's job's pretty easy there.
It really is. You talk about inches, just go get it.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They go play action with Hurts. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in cover.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Ready?
Smith catches left side. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the 6. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. First chance for the Commanders offense now as they head out for their opening series of the 2nd half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Wentz going to throw.
Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. Wentz and Dotson, your connection there for the Commander first.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Washington first down. 1st and 10.
Now Wentz. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Brandon Graham picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Tackled back at the 46-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Throwing is Wentz. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. And this offense on third down today, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 15. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Slings this deep for McLaurin. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Tempo.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
Out left and hauled in by Arcega-Whiteside. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Another run here with Sanders
to the 27-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
Jamin Davis there to bring him down.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. To throw, it's Wentz. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, is going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Wentz. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left.
A give up the middle to Gibson.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Wentz now to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Brandon Graham, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open. Give him 18 yards on that one. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
The extra point by Sly is up and good
as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They start on the ground here at Sanders to about the 33-yard line.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Sanders. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
But that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, they turn to Sanders. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 49 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
An unfortunate distinction for Sanders last season. He had the most yards, 754 of any back in the league, to not score a touchdown. He's still the guy in Philly, though, and he'll get back to scoring this season. Plenty of work available for him in the league's top rushing offense from a year ago.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Eagles, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.
Go have no time for cold cuts. The game like big pitch came to join up. Yeah, I'm still independent. Ain't sold a million records yet. Used to be on my checklist, big